Hi everyone, this is Marie Manucherry. I wanted to give you some tips today about manifesting. And I'm sure we've talked about this before, but think of these are additional tips to help you on the path of consciously manifesting because you are manifesting all of the time, constantly. But if you're not really paying attention to your thoughts or your feelings or where your vibration is, then you could easily be manifesting in some sort of undesired way, which is what most people do all the time. So, tip number one, you can't tell anyone about what you want to create unless you know that they will 100% support you, be a cheerleader for you, um, not have feelings of envy or jealousy or think that it's a silly idea. So that could be a lot of people you got to take out of your discussions about your manifesting plans. And this is a very serious rule. This is not flexible because when we care about people, when we have friends in our lives or people that are part of our family, and you may feel obligated to kind of clue them into what's going to be happening in your life. And when you do that and they don't reciprocate in the way that would be in your highest good, which you may have some consciousness about it or you may have zero consciousness about it, meaning like they might tell you, I love your idea, but I'm kind of jealous. I want that, which would be better if they shared how they really felt. But most people are unconscious about what they're feeling, so they don't know that they have feelings of envy or jealousy, or they don't think you're quite capable of creating some big idea that you have a fabulous desire for. Whatever the reason is, don't tell them. And here's the part that I think is tricky for humans. Humans feel, like I just said, somewhat obligated to share news and information with loved ones or friends. You have no obligation to anyone. I don't even believe that soul contracts exist between souls. I believe free will is the strongest law in the universe. So you don't owe anyone anything. You don't have to do anything to erase your karma with one particular person. Karma, which is just the equaling or balancing of life choices and life experiences to move into high frequency. It can happen at any moment, even without a relationship with someone. So there's no obligation. You don't have to tell people about what's going on in your life unless you feel that they are conscious enough, not compassionate enough, aware enough to hold the space for you, to be a constant cheerleader for you, and who won't go into some negative thinking in their brain. So that kind of eradicates a lot of people in your life. Don't tell anyone. Now, you can tell people once it starts to manifest. Once you have some confidence and self-worth about yourself on it, and you know you're not going to waver, no matter a look that someone may give you or a comment that someone might make to you that's not supportive. So until you get to a place where you feel really confident, like this is working, I can tell, it's happening, yay. Don't tell them. Okay, that's one of your tips. I'm just looking at my notes here. No soul contracts. I already mentioned that. The reason why I don't believe contracts exist between souls has to do with the fact that freedom and free will is the strongest law in the universe. So if we have free will and we can do whatever we want, contracts do not exist between people. You may have a contract with yourself to learn unconditional love or learn to be authentically empowered or learn higher levels of compassion, but no one has to do it with you. You don't have to do it with anyone else. Even if you did something terrible into the previous lifetime, you don't owe them anything. Things can only happen to people when they allow it to happen to them, and souls don't want to be here forever. So if you were, a murderer in a previous lifetime, hopefully a long time ago, which old souls have done a little bit of everything. They've been on both sides of life experiences for hundreds of thousands of years. So souls only want to have experiences. So if you were a murderer in a previous lifetime, which if you're an old soul, just assume you have done that act, you don't have any karmic retribution towards that person that you killed. You have a karmic retribution with yourself to learn compassion and care and not react in a violent way towards others. But souls who want to leave the planet don't care how they leave. In fact, they might be excited. Ooh, I wonder what it's like to die at the hands of another person. So just remember that. You don't owe anything to that soul. That soul has their own issues to figure out as you have your own, to recognize that you're not dependent on others learning or expanding in order for you to learn or expand. Fascinating. When we talk about manifesting, and I mentioned this language very early on in this recording, there's a difference between consciously manifesting and unconsciously manifesting. Unconsciously manifesting happens when you complain, when you maintain negative thoughts about something that's either happening to you or disappointment when things aren't happening the way you want them to. That creates unconscious manifesting. You're opening up the floodgates to negative thinking, and that means more negative outcomes can happen because you're allowing it to. You're sending your vibration to negative thoughts. You're sending your vibration to negative outcomes. That's unconscious manifesting. That means that you don't realize how powerful you are, how powerful your mind is, how powerful the universe, and the fact is that you're constantly manifesting regardless. Conscious manifesting means you know what you want. You're going to work diligently to hold your vibration to the positive outcome of that desire. You're going to ignore the thoughts or words of other people that are unsupportive of you. You aren't going to take things personally. That's so important in the manifesting world. So many humans are waiting for other people to give them approval or to say, great idea. None of that matters. It doesn't matter what other people say to you or how they feel about you. In fact, for most old souls, they're projecting negative thoughts onto themselves from others. They really don't know how other people feel. And in reality, it doesn't matter at all. Okay. Keep your energy positive, especially when you're thinking about your desires. So let's say you want a brand new car, but your mind is always going to the thoughts about how high the payments will be, or the insurance, or if you live in Washington State, the tax you have to pay for your tabs. So if your brain's going in those directions, which may seem logical to you, that is negative thinking. Wealthy people don't think about how things cost like that. They know they have enough wealth and they go pay for their purchases and don't think about tabs or monthly payments. I want you, of course, buy a car within your means, of course, that works for you. But you can't have negative thoughts and manifest your desire. So I want you to think about, if it's a car, the smell of the interior of the type of car that you want, the body style, how fast it will go, how much fun you'll have driving friends around. If you're going to want a convertible, what it's like when the roof is down or off and you can feel the breeze in your hair. I want you to think positive when you're manifesting, because if you want a car that's outside of your financial circumstances, it will become available to you if you have positive thoughts. Something will happen. I remember when Mina was turning 16 and I was so tired of taking her to soccer practice, and I was getting so happy that she'll be able to drive herself, and I wanted her to have her own car. I wanted to give her the car I had and go buy another one for myself. And I wasn't sure how that was all going to work out financially at the time. I had 2 kids in college at that time, and I received an inheritance and an unexpected amount of resources that I used to pay for the second car. Yeah, it wasn't planned, didn't know it was going to happen, didn't even know there would be money available from that individual. So keep positive. This is the most important tip when it comes to manifesting. Whenever you think about a goal or desire that you have, I want you to send love to yourself. Even if you don't know what that means, and by the way, this is probably the most important thing about anything, which it has to do with your growth and your expansion of awareness and your delight and your joy and your happiness. Self-love is like the big kahuna when it comes to everything that you want to experience and that you want to have. Even conscious growth comes from self-love. Yeah, your awareness, your spiritual abilities, your multisensory talents come from self-love. They expand in self-love. So let's say, again, we're talking about a car, and you're doing great, you're thinking positively about the car, and at the same time you're sending loving thoughts to yourself like, honey, I love you so much. You're such a wonderful person. I'm glad that you've decided to have this lovely car. You deserve it. Good for you. And if you're uncomfortable with that, or this is a new concept, imagine what would be like if you were loving someone else, whether it's a pet or a child. Just get into that frequency as much as possible. Send that love to that person in your mind, and then duplicate that experience with yourself. It is one of the most powerful, most effective, it's the best thing you'll ever do is love you. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.